purpose of estate planning is to make sure that your loved ones get the property that you want them to have after you passed away. Probate law is one of the strictest areas of the law as far as the judge must follow the statute, regardless of what your intentions were or whether they think that was fair or not. And so it is important for you to follow the exact rules in order to make sure that your property goes where you want it to go and that the people that you want to be taken care of are taken care of after your death. You do not have to be rich to need an estate plan. Everybody needs to have a will because everybody owns something. It may just be a bank account. It may be that your last paycheck needs to be paid to you after you pass away unexpectedly, or it may be your car. But without a will, it's going to cost your loved ones so much money, sometimes it's not worth them even getting your property, whereas with a will, they could have gotten that property easily. So it is important to plan ahead so that the people you leave behind don't have a lot more financial problems in trying to get your estate settled. Estate planning encompasses things like your division of property among your loved ones, but it also includes who's going to be guardian for your minor children. You need to think about who is going to manage your children's property until they're old enough to manage it for themselves. And also we talk about powers of attorney when we're doing estate planning to make sure that somebody can manage your property and take care of your medical decisions if you're not able to do that yourself. Estate planning is why I went to law school, and I enjoyed in law school being able to work for the professor who did wills and estate planning, and I helped write the textbook for wills and estate planning. And I have always been really interested in doing that. So I have enjoyed throughout my entire career the ability to help people plan for their estates and then also help them through the probate process after the loved one has passed away. I really enjoy hearing people's life stories. Whenever you go to meet with your attorney for the first time to plan your estate, there are a number of documents that you'll want to discuss. Of course, you'll want to discuss whether or not to get a will, and of course, everyone needs a will. You may or may not want a living trust. Even if you have a living trust, you'll still need a will. But there are other documents that you want to think about getting. There is a medical power of attorney. There's a statutory power of attorney that has to do with property. There is also a directive to physicians, which is you telling the doctor directly whether you want to be kept alive on artificial life support. We often talk about doing a document regarding anatomical gifts and whether or not you want to donate your body to science when you pass away. And then there is the designation of agent to control remains if you want to be cremated. The law kind of presumes that you don't want to be cremated, and so if you do want to be cremated, we need to plan ahead for that to make sure that that happens. And a lot of people don't realize that that's something that we really need to have a document in place to make sure that that happens. So oftentimes when people come in and they think they just want a will, there's actually 5 or 6 documents that we have to do for them. Maybe a self-designation of guardian if they might need a guardian in the future, and maybe a designation of healthcare power of attorney for their children. So there are a lot of different documents, not just a will, that you want to discuss. I believe that people hire my firm to be their representation because we listen to people and they come in here, they feel comfortable knowing that they are going to be heard and they're not just a number. My current and past clients would say that this firm really cares about them and that we really take care of the details so that everything is put into their decree that needs to be in there or into their order that needs to be there. We believe client communication is very important. Every time that we hear something from opposing counsel or from the other party, we will notify the client about what's going on in their case. We return phone calls that day or the very next day, and we check our emails several times a day. We're a small firm, and the advantage of working with a small firm is that you get to know all of the staff of the firm, and all of the staff of the firm gets to know you. My law firm is different from other firms because we really make a point to make sure that everybody on staff knows what's going on with all the cases. We sit down together and go over all the cases together as a staff, and we pray for our clients and we pray with our clients. For your initial consultation for an estate plan, we need to know whether you're going to have an estate tax issue. So we'll need to know the overall value of your estate in general terms. And then we need to know if you have particular people that you want to receive particular pieces of property. But for a lot of people, it can be as simple as saying, I leave it all to my spouse, and if my spouse predeceases me, then equally to my children. We can be very general, but we want to make sure that if we are going to be that general, that we have made sure that you're protected in case of estate tax.